Hashtag feed your skills. Hashtag let's learn and grow together. Hello everyone. This is another live session of free international webinar brought to you by the Institute of Global Professionals or IGP. Welcome. I am your host for this session. My name is Marbeth, a global volunteer of IGP from the Philippines. It is my distinct honor to be your host for this session. I am so excited for this occasion that we can convene virtually through this international free webinar brought to us by the Institute of Global Professionals. It is my pleasure to be with you once again in this virtual event. This event is another opportunity for learning and another milestone of growing for all of us. I'm proud to tell you that every day many new participants are joining with us. I'd like to welcome all the new participants to IGP's global family. With this, I feel obliged to give a little background about IGP. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institution which provides social work. We believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill by just obtaining formal education. In accordance with IGP's mission that is to empower people and hone their skills, we provide training accordance with IGP's mission that is to empower people and hone their skills, we provide training and consultation to generate a proficient generation through webinars, trainings, offline and online courses with highly competitive speakers and best and well-trained coaches from all across the globe so that we can cater you with the best learning platform. I'm proud to tell you that IGP is an ISO training and education institute. We are internationally recognized and globally accredited. And IGP is an award-winning institute with multiple records of most engaging e-learning platform. We are the leading online skill development institution with thousands of learners worldwide. Most importantly, IGP is committed to serve. IGP is bringing the community of professionals to grow together and learn from each other. Here in IGP, learning never stops. We wish that you remain with us in this endeavor. I hope that everyone will stay with us until the end of the program because we have a lot of things in store for you today. Here in IGP webinars, you will not just listen to our speakers, but we appreciate your active engagement in the comment section. We encourage your participation in our live quiz competition, and we also ask your interaction in the Q&A part of the program. In our live quiz competition, the top 10 participants will receive the quiz completion certificate that is right after the live event. It will be posted few minutes after our live event in IGP's official Facebook page, and it will be ready for you to download. After which is the Q&A part where everyone will have the opportunity to interact with our speaker by sending in your questions in the comment box. And during our live show, there will be questions that will pop up on your screen. This will keep you engaged all throughout the duration of the webinar. Simply send your idea in the comment section. And every day during our live session, we award certificate of lifetime membership to the most active and enthusiastic participant. So what are you waiting for? Share this live event to your friends and to your community and in other social media forums such as LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Write comments and feedback in the comment section. Who knows, you could be the next recipient of IGP's Certificate of Lifetime Membership. Please be informed that e-certificate of this webinar will be provided to all the active participants before the end of the program. I will give you the certification code together with the certification process on how you can generate or auto-download your e-certificate. With this, everybody is encouraged to stay with us until the end of the program. Here in IGP International Webinar, lots of exciting things awaits us. I am sure that all of us will have many e-takeaways and payoffs from this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I am so honored to welcome all of you to the Institute of Global Professionals Free International Webinar. Once again, I am Marbeth, a core volunteer of IGP from the Philippines. I'm so privileged to host today's webinar. With this, I would like to say, let's watch together and learn together. We believe that the power is gained by sharing knowledge, not by hoarding it. And did you know that as of this morning, we have already successfully completed 857 webinars in various topics of your interest. All of these are available in our website, that is www.eduigp.com. Feel free to access them anytime. You may also check all recorded webinars anytime on our Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. With this, we expect that all of you are getting a little bit benefited both in your personal and professional development. From time to time, you may like, share, tag your friends, and write comments. Don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube channel and join our Facebook page and Facebook group. And please give a review on our Facebook page. To those who have joined us through YouTube in the YouTube channel live streaming, make sure to click the bell button to be notified with our live streaming every day. And to those who have joined through Facebook page and Facebook group, make sure to click or pin IGP's FB page and FB group so that you won't miss the notifications of our live and upcoming webinars. It is my humble request to all of you to please support us by spreading the news about IGP's free international webinar to your friends and to your community. This is the only way that we can give back or show our appreciation for IGP. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And before proceeding to our program proper, allow me to greet some of our active participants for today. Hello to Ma'am Nina Generale. She is our early bird today. Hi to Novi Maril de la Cruz, and also to Sir Alan Brutas. He is one of our CSR team. Hello to Marianne Manglanlan. Kisel Jane Grace. Hi. Rogeline Jonaras Joriel. Hello there. Carmela Haen. Ronely Salandron. Nikki Mahusay. Rogeline Joriel. Joyce Ann Barsaga. Hello. Flomi Salvijo is with us. Also, Clarence Tukop. We have so many participants today. Chanity Garrigo, Clarence Tukop again, Joyce Ann Barsaga. The participants are so active in the comment section. Isaiah Kiyangwi is with us, Kit Kumambong, and also Ma'am Evelyn Waperi. We have here Mary Ann again, Christine Joy Ann Antique, Irene Jugilion, Nikki Nemenio. Okay, hello to all of you. I hope I could read all of your messages. I'll be doing that later. So guys, I would like to remind all of you that you may utilize the comment box for your sections, for your questions and your feedback. And I'm sure that our CSR team are ready to answer all your questions, and I will be doing the same thing too. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Happy learning, everyone. So, without further ado, let's start the program with the IGP's mantra that is, feed your skills, innovate, inspire, impact. For today, I am presenting to you webinar number 858 on modality in English language teaching. Indeed, we are so privileged to have a distinguished speaker from the Philippines. Currently, he is a master teacher one from Kamiling School for Home Industries in Tarlac Province. He is also an associate professor at the Institute of Graduate and Professional Studies Lyceum Northwest University, Tegupan City. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our keynote speaker for this session, Dr. Melchor Kayabyab.
Thank you very much, ma'am, to
We
our
are so happy to
moderator.
have you here.
Yes, yes, me too. It's really a great opportunity to be part of this professional learning community and at the same time share the little knowledge that we have acquired in my 2 decades of teaching. At the same time, learn from our participants in this webinar. To my fellow lifelong learners all over the world, this is another opportunity to, of course, our teachers here in the Philippines. I know that our country experienced to be battled, okay, by this strong typhoon, yet we're still here. We are in our respective homes and we are in our respective learning spaces ready to learn, okay, another buzzword in the field of English language teaching. Let's get started. Let's watch this
Yes,
and then
sir.
okay, let's watch this video and then please try to let's make this presentation as interactive as possible. After watching this video, then I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions and I hope that you're gonna type in the chat box your respective answers. There you have it. You've watched the video project submitted by one of my students. Now, for sure, in your own classrooms, you've also done the same thing or even better. Okay? Now, the question is as you watch the video, how many skills have you used in order to understand the message of the video? Please feel free to type in the chat box your answers in the comment section, your answers. How many skills are involved in trying to understand the message of the video? Please type your answers in the comment section. How many skills? Please feel free to chat your answers, to key in your answers in the comment section, please. How many skills did you use such that you get to understand the message of the video? We have, of course, listening. We also use the skill of reading, reading the text, reading the narrative. So we have listening, speaking, no, listening and reading. We read not only linguistic code, but also we saw there some images and then the combination of drawings and then the color and then the way these things are arranged such that they would appear in concert with one another. In real life, when we communicate like what we are into as of this moment, you are watching, at the same time you are listening, and then I'm presenting here the key points of this talk. There are three skills, at least three skills that we are using, okay, in order to understand, in order to try to draw meanings from what we are watching. We have listening, writing, okay, listening, reading, okay, and then viewing is another skill. Okay. In real life, when we communicate, we don't only stick to one mode. We don't only stick to one code. They say the more, the merrier. The more, the clearer the communication process is. And that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon, which is all about multimodality. Yes. And let's try to define the key terms from the title of this presentation. Number one is multimodality. We have two the words here. Um, Mode is, of course, the nucleus, and then we have here the prefix multi, meaning many. Okay? Many modes of communication. Multimodality is simply the use of more than one mode of communication practices to create a particular message or set of messages. Another key term from the title of this talk is the word mode. What is mode? Mode is an entity which is created as a result of social and cultural influences. It's true. The way we dress up right now, although this is virtual, I still tried my best to appear formal in the way I projected myself in my choice of my outfit, of my OOTD, because in the academic setting, like in this one, we are doing a talk. There are expectations, there are modes of communication expected from, say, a speaker, like the way you talk, the way you deliver, the kind of register you use as you try to discuss or explain your topic. Not just the words that you use, not just your body language, the way you project yourself on screen, also your choice of your outfit. Okay, your clothes are themselves resources for making meaning. These are socially and culturally dictated. Okay. Another definition of mode, it's used in meaning making processes of human beings. From the moment we wake up until we go to bed, even in our dreams, we try to interpret, we try to associate or draw meanings to the things around us. And these meanings are embodied in the different semiotic resources like the spoken language, the written language, the photo, the space, the arrangement of the furniture inside the classroom or inside your house. They communicate a specific meaning. Okay. And we nowadays, because of the influx of computer and then so many gadgets which we have access, then we try to, whether we like it or not, we consume these multimodal artifacts. Okay, like when you watch a movie, it's a combination of sound, it's a combination of images, combination of spoken language. Okay. Next, okay, just like that one, okay, my picture, my graduation picture, it says a lot about the occasion. Why are you wearing barong? Why am I wearing barong? Okay. It speaks of my nationality because I'm a Filipino and it's the national costume, a national, yeah, male costume of a typical Filipino. And why am I wearing the sash, which is definitely speaks of the identity of the school? It tells something about my profession. I'm a teacher in one school, and I'm wearing barong because here I am. I'm trying to have a historic shoot, okay, because it will be published in the yearbook. And why am I wearing barong? And why is it that the way I stand there, it's formal, not wacky? It speaks of the occasion. It's all about commencement exercises, and commencement exercises entails formality. And formality, not just in language, but formality in the way you project yourself using other semiotic resources like the barong, and then you have there the sablay. See, this is what the concept of multimodality is all about. We try to maximize the resources at our disposal to make ourselves better, to be better understood by the people around us. So we try to employ the semiotic resources, as many as we could, in order to attain its communication effect. Okay, what kind of effect, what kind of impact we want to create on our readers, on our viewers? Okay, that will definitely shape the semiotic resources, our decisions as to the semiotic resources that we are supposed to use. Another this one is also this is my article published in our division newsletter, and the newspaper is a semiotic resource itself. And the newspaper, you see, they're not just words. You also have there my picture to complement the article, and then the choice of color. Why is it that the band the masthead there, the color of the masthead is red, and it the concept of cohesion in multimodal approach to English language teaching does not only refer to the way we draft, the way we write our essay. The concept of cohesion is also true in this multimodal text, like the newsletter, like our campus paper, layouting the space taken by a specific picture in one campus paper tells something about its prominence, okay, the prominence of the news related about that picture. Okay. So this one is an example of a multimodal text. Another mode. Okay. See, if it is a video, or let us say a short clip, a video clip, the movement of the camera is another semiotic resource. And the positioning, including the amount of light that you put in a specific movie, that tells something about the meaning, that communicates a specific meaning to the viewer. Okay. And in at this in this era, we consume this kind of digital materials. We don't have choice as we start trying to scroll down and trying to check the posts of our friends on FB. Okay? And you see there, we encounter a lot of multimodal texts. Okay. So it's a combination of audio, combination of photos, and then you have there also the caption, the text, and all this. These semiotic resources, they should be arranged in a logical manner. They should be arranged such that there is unity and there is also coherence. What's something what is really attracting the researchers as to this theoretical perspective, the multimodality theory as applied or as used in investigating how is classroom dynamics, to describe the classroom dynamics. What is attracting this new batch of researchers is the recognition that learning is all about bringing the students, okay, bringing to the attention of the students these semiotic resources around them. At the same time, training them to be producers themselves of these multimodal materials. Okay. Well, we'll go in detail to that the theoretical underpinnings of multimodality in a little while. Okay, let's move on. Another definition, multimodality is the use of multiple means of communication. Yes, to teach a lesson. Gone are the days when the teacher will just write key points in the day's lesson on the board, and then the students are asked to copy the writings on the board. And now in the current pedagogy, well, that's so off it's so awkward, to see a teacher just writing down the key points on the board and then the students just copying. The Nowadays, we also encourage the use of the multiple means of communication in order to, of course, make sure that our students are engaged, our students they maintain their interest towards the subject. We try to make use of multimodal materials. Okay. Another definition of multimodality, it's the simultaneous reading, like what you the mental processes involved when you were watching the movie at the onset of this presentation. You were reading at the same time listening and watching. You're doing this processes simultaneously. Okay? And here you are, as you also give your reactions. You also like when you are watching a teleserie, you don't just simply watch. There are instances when you also give comments. You chat with your siblings, you chat with your mom, with your dad, and then give your reaction. And there are also instances when we empathize with the character and we give our comment, and we also develop that feeling of anger to the anta- antagonist of the teleserie. Okay, and that's normal. See, the concept of multimodal approach to English language teaching underscores the attempt to make the activities inside the classroom as realistic as possible. Okay, because when we go out of the classroom, when we are involved in the process of communication, normally we don't only use one mode of communication. It's a combination of two or three, and these three semiotic resources, we use them simultaneously to make ourselves understood and to also understand the message of the person we're talking to. Next. So that's those are the three terms: multimodality, the mode, and in this presentation, we're trying to see the implications of the concept of multimodality for methodology, for our assessment. Okay? And before I move on, let's first define what methodology is. Methodology is a system of practices and procedures that a teacher uses to teach. It's a general term that encompasses the approaches. Okay, the first word is approach. Approach refers to the principles, the tenets that support the theory of learning, the theory of language. Okay? So while method, this is implementational. We apply the principles, we apply the approaches in the classroom, and then it's procedural. The method is procedural. When we teach, we have our first action followed by these, and then it's going to end this way. Then we are referring to the method. In one method, we expect several techniques. Technique is at the implementational level, okay? While method refers to the procedure. Okay. Now, in this presentation, we want to know the application of the concept of multimodality in these facets of the English language teaching, okay, from approaches, methods, techniques. Okay. Okay, there you go. Approach refers to the theories about the nature of language and language learning, which are the source of the way things are done in the classroom, and which provide the reasons for doing them. For example, um, one example of approach is the sociocultural approach to language learning. And that approach says that for the child to learn or to acquire a language, the child needs to interact with the with the people living in one community in a social milieu. And so that's the principle. How is that operationalized in the classroom? It's operationalized when we ask our students to work collaboratively, and when we divide the class into several groups. Okay, so that's now the method. Okay, method, and that is anchored on the sociocultural approach to English language teaching. Now we move on to the multimodal approach. Let me present to you the theoretical underpinnings of multimodal approach. We start with the theory of language. We have two popular theories. We have the multimodality theory and then the systemic functional linguistics by Michael Halliday. The Hallidayan linguistics, the principal tenet of the systemic functional linguistics lies on the fact that language serves specific functions in one community, in one society. You learn a language not to memorize the rules, but you are learning a language in order for you to perform functions in one society. So it's the notion of language learning under the systemic functional linguistics perspective is that you learn a language as you perform different roles, as you try to perform the future roles you will be performing in the society. Okay, so that's systemic functional linguistics. The key word here is language is used for specific functions. Yes. Let's move on to the theory of learning in support of multimodal approach to English language teaching. We have here sensory simulation theory. According to this theory, effective learning takes place when all the senses are stimulated. If I There is this expression, English expression, the more the merrier, where we are emphasizing here the use of several modes, okay, in giving input to our students, and after exposing them to comprehensible input using different modes of communication, we also expect them to produce communication materials which also use various modes of communication. So that's sensory simulation theory. Another theory of language learning we can cite to anchor our multimodal approach to English language teaching is the optimal input hypothesis. The optimal input hypothesis says we acquire the language from input, not from output. Okay, and we know that comprehensible input is very important. Okay, it's a facilitating factor as far as the rate of acquisition is concerned. What this hypothesis highlights is the need to expose our learners to various modes of communication, because when we do that, then we are maximizing the language input necessary for them to easily acquire the language. Okay. Let's now move on to method. What do we mean by the word method? Method refers to the types of activities. What is the role of the teacher in communicative language teaching? The teacher basically is just a mere facilitator. Okay, the teacher is not at the center stage trying to give the input or trying to lecture. Okay, what about the learners? In that specific method, what roles do the learners play? Are they passive recipient of knowledge, linguistic knowledge, or they are active, okay, active communicators? They're active interpreters of the meanings communicated by these modes of communication. Okay? Not only the roles of teachers and learners, we also include here the kinds of material, okay, are part of the method. Okay. Now, who's doing this? Okay. I'm presenting a scenario in the classroom, and you've done this before, surely. The students were given a map with the geographical features and name. Then the teacher gave the students directions such as the following: find the mountain range in the west, write the words Rocky Mountains across the mountain range. What about this one? Um, Music is played while reading a piece of literature. You are also playing music. There is music in the background while you read a poem. Okay. Then after a few minutes, the teacher begins a slow, dramatic reading, synchronized in intonation with the music. And the music is classical. The early romantic period is suggested. The teacher's voice rises and falls with the music. Okay? And the teacher, as he or she narrates the story, is in character. And therefore, the teacher changes his or her pitch from time to time depending on the message that the character in the story wants to express. Okay? Now, as we do this, okay, what is specific method, knowingly or unknowingly, are we using? Okay, what method can we create from the jumbled letters on screen? Exactly. It's desuggestopedia. Desuggestopedia because you try to lower the effective filter, and you just want to make it exciting. You just want to make your English class exciting, and then there is fun, and therefore you need to lower the effective filter. You need to reduce fear, anxiety in your classroom, and
I think the speaker for today is having some technical problem or internet issue at the moment because we are here in the Philippines. We are under signal storm signal. So let's just wait and allow the speaker to join in. Let's give him a few minutes. Okay, while waiting, you can share in the comment section below the things that you have learned, and I will be reading your comments. Okay, please share in the comment section the things that you have just learned from our speaker while waiting for him, and I will be reading some of your comments. Okay, let me see. I have here a comment. I would like to read a comment from Christine Joy Ann Antique. Definitely, this webinar is really of great help, not only in our studies, but also in the field of teaching. Thank you so much for that comment, Ma'am Christine. And thank you for assuring us that the webinar is beneficial for all of us. Okay, let me see some more comments here. According to Santok Emmy Rose Navales, yes, very beneficial, ma'am. To the speaker, thank you for your discussion. Okay. Please be reminded that before the end of the program, I will give you the certification code together with the certification process on how you can generate or auto download your e-certificate. And also, I have read a comment from our Facebook page that you're having difficulty collecting your e-certificate. In those cases, I could suggest that you may refresh your browser or try collecting your certificate in some other time. Probably because of so many people accessing the website, we are encountering some traffic issues, internet traffic issue. But rest assured that everyone, as long as you have the certification code, you can claim your certificate anytime. We have here another comment from Karen Joy Laconsai. I have learned about simulation theory that learning is more effective with a simulation of senses and how language is acquired directly from the input. Thank you so much, Ma'am Karen, for that very wonderful sharing of ideas and learning to us. Okay. If you have some questions, you may also send it in the comment section about the e-certificate. We will also have the Q&A part before the end of the program. Sir Kamrul, can we proceed to let me just check if we have the speaker now. Yes. I think while waiting for the speakers, we better proceed with our quiz competition. I hope that will be agreeable to everyone. Later, I will be giving you the certification link together with the certification process, so stay with us until the end of the program. Buckle up because at this juncture, we will now proceed to the most exciting and most anticipated part of this event, that is the live quiz competition. So I am encouraging everyone, please. Well, our speaker is back. Welcome back, Sir Ryan and Sir Kevyab.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am Maribeth, for saving me. Right now, I do experience poor connection at our place,
You may
but the show
continue with
must
your
go on.
presentation. Yes, that's
Yes.
true. Please share your screen again.
Yeah. Just give me a few seconds.
Okay, while waiting, I want to read a comment from one of our participants here. I learned that language is very important in deciding a material to be used in teaching a lesson. And another comment is, good afternoon, everyone. I am Roche C. Katipay. I'm from Negros Occidental State University. Yes, the webinar is beneficial in my studies. We need to use more than one skill to communicate effectively. I think you're ready to go, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Let's continue. We now
Mm.
move on to the implications of the multimodal approach for language assessment.
Go ahead, sir.
And we have before, okay, we've been hearing the term communicative competence by Del Hines. Okay, and that's the construct influencing the test designers in our country. But of course, with this theory of multimodal semiotic system, we now have the term multimodal communicative competence. What does this mean? What are the elements that define multimodal communicative competence? Number one is situation. And a communicatively competent person, by multimodally speaking, is very much aware of the speaking situation. Where am I speaking? Who am I talking with? Okay, because in a specific communicative situation, we have there the context of culture and then the context of situation. These two determine the kind of language that is appropriately that is to be appropriately used. The language register. Am I gonna use like now I am delivering a talk. Am I gonna use here the frozen style, or if it is in the level of formality, am I gonna use here street language? Definitely it's not gonna work because this is a webinar and then the participants are educators and this is an academic discussion. Therefore, the appropriate okay, language register here is the formal language. Although I'm trying to be casual from time to time in my intention to make the presentation interactive, okay, primarily the formal language is the one that is warranted in this speech situation. Then the speech situation will definitely define the kind of text that will be produced. In this webinar, we have a specific text like the webinar should start with the moderator introducing herself and then the moderator reminding the participants some netiquette to be observed. And then after the moderator mentioning the vision, mission of IGP, the background, the objectives, and then she moved on to introducing the topic, giving you a little background about the topic, and finally introducing me, the speaker this afternoon. Then the speaker will acknowledge the moderator. The speaker will express his or her gratitude to the organizing committee and then acknowledging also the participants. After acknowledgement, then the speaker will move to the initial presentation of his or her topic and from the beginning, and then we have here the middle part of the talk, and there's no choice because due to time constraint you need to end your talk within a specific period. After saying thank you, then that gives a signal to the moderator. The moderator will now try to open the floor for questions or queries, and then the moderator will try to screen the questions and queries in order to avoid duplication, then these questions will now be asked to the speaker, then the speaker will answer. Okay, the participants will also give their comments. After the question and answer portion, the moderator will now synthesize the major points that were shared, okay, during the talk. Then you now proceed to the giving of certificate. After giving certificate, you give quiz or post test, and acknowledging again the speaker, acknowledging the organizer, thanking the members of the audience, and that ends. So that the webinar is a text in itself, and there are moves, there are stages we expect, and also the structure we expect when we attend a webinar. And any deviation from our expectations, anything that is in contrary to these culturally mapped stages, then we see it as awkward, we see it as deviant. Okay? So there you go. The situation, the text, and then the aspects. The aspects would refer to the relationship of the participants in the communication process. Like now, I am the speaker, and I'm trying to communicate, to share with you the key ideas as disseminated in literature, and then you are also listening, you also give your comments. So what kind of relationship we have? We are doing this as part of our profession, as part of our professional growth. And obviously, as I see the comments here of the participants, the register of the language is also formal. Why? This is an academic discussion, and while we are using computer mediated communication, right? So CMC, we still maintain the formality because this is a webinar and it's a professional learning community attended by educators. Okay. And any deviation from the norms in this speech community may be seen as off tangent. It may be treated as awkward. So, okay, now what is the aside from the introduction of the multimodal communicative competence, not just communicative competence, that's very 70s, that's very Delheims, okay, communicative competence under CRESS, okay, applying the multimodal approach, we have this multimodal communicative competence. And what does it take to be multimodally communicatively competent? Okay. Number one, you are aware of the situation. And your awareness of the situation will guide you in your choice of linguistic resources that will help you produce the accepted text. Okay? Your awareness of the situation will also help you develop the tone, the style of the text that will build the appropriate relationship to the target readers, to the target consumers of the multimodal material you are producing. So that's now multimodal communicative competence. It's not just about you're good in English and your grammar is flawless, right? And you have no errors in your grammar, but in terms of your choice of words, it doesn't fit the situation. How do you respond to text messages coming from your higher ups? Okay, it's about being linguistically sensitive, linguistically appropriate to the communicative situation. That characterizes multimodal communicative competence. Next, yes. So what now if we adopt the multimodal approach of CRESS as espoused by CRESS in our classroom? Um, how do we go about assessing, how do we go about designing or thinking of the performance tasks we ask our students to do. Okay. It goes with the keyword multimodal, and this time it's not just multimodal teaching but also multimodal assessment. And this approach brings concepts like multimodal composition, asking your asking our students to create a blog, asking our students to produce a newsletter, or we ask our students to come up with an exhibit. Okay, and then during the exhibit, there will be gallery walk. Then um, you also have role playing. You have visitors from other countries. Then asking questions from the receptionists. Okay, so we encourage the promotion of multimodal composition, multimodal project, and multimodal performance tasks. Okay? And okay, to give you a heads up of sorry, I'm using the material produced by my students in the master's program at Lyceum Northwestern University. There's no problem with copyright infringement in this case because I know that my students did this under my supervision. And this is the kind of multimodal project that I've been talking a while back. This is it. Let's watch this. So,
Lyceum Northwestern University in Quezon City, Philippines, always strives to hold on to its core values: excellence, professionalism, integrity, creativity, and spirituality. Staying true to its principles, LNU is a
see, in this project, multimodal project, there are already three modes of communication, three modes of communication coming into play. So we have written, okay, the title and then the keywords, and then the audio, and that is spoken language, and the use of appropriate photos, okay, visual, and then the movement of the camera. So that's another mode of communication. You combine these modes of communication to produce one communication material, and you have the principles of multimodal assessment. You don't only assess your students' knowledge of the language, their fluency, their ability to use language, but also their ability to use other modes of communication.
home of exceptional professors in undergraduate and graduate courses. At the Institute of Graduate and Professional Studies in particular, the name Dr. Melchor Kayabyab has become a byword for excellence. Doc Mel, or Sir Mel as his students address him, is the perfect epitome of a star, shining brightly with his inspiring and critically driven, innovative teaching popularly known as star quality education. The pandemic has disrupted the normal lifestyle of people across the globe and has forced everyone to embrace the emergent transition from face to face to online learning. The pandemic may have challenged the education sector, but education remains an essential part of our lives. With that, the Star Quality Education presents a resilience framework whose ultimate goal is to ensure the delivery of quality education at the postgraduate.
See, in my class, I'm fond of asking my students, okay, after listening to a talk, after attending a webinar, they are required to produce newsletters, infographics, and these newsletters should be published, should be uploaded, should be posted on their FB accounts because I believe that we produce communication materials for public consumption. Okay? And that's another distinct feature of multimodal assessment. Aside from asking your students to produce communication materials, you also train them to be sensitive to the target audience. And you also teach them, okay, how to publish their work. After all, that's the essence of producing newsletters so that the members of the academic community will be informed about the trends, about the events happening in the university and the school. So why ask your students to come up with a newsletter and then just skip it? Then you are the only one marking the paper. That is against the principle of multimodal assessment. Okay?
Level amid the pandemic. It strives to promote education that is equitable and responsive to the needs of diverse learners, leading to the successful recovery, resilience building, and reimagination of education in the post-pandemic world. Star quality education has three fundamental elements: access, shared accountability, relevance, which, when synergistically work together, is expected to bring about changes at the individual and societal level, thus serving the transformative nature of quality education. If I were to describe star quality education, I would choose the word innovative.
So that one, that's some spoken language. Not only spoken language, you also have visual, okay, the outfit of the speaker, also the gaze, the movement of the eyes, even makeup. Makeup is a semiotic resource. How heavy is the makeup? That depends on the kind of text that you want to produce. Is that a beauty pageant? Is that an instructional video? The speech situation will determine the kind of makeup you you will be wearing on that day. Is it a heavy makeup or it's a very light makeup? That depends on the situation.
It would be realistic, inspiring, star quality education looks for ways to make things extraordinary without even putting too much burden on students' financial. Say, for example, those free international webinars we attended, you don't require to be a lot to have an app.
So this is a video project, and it encompasses the tenets of multimodal assessment. Okay. What are other examples of multimodal assessment? We have websites, radio segments, interactive PowerPoint, song, role play, poems, blogs, YouTube, videos. Okay. Recently, um, while teaching the elements of plot, okay, the elements of plot, we have exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and then resolution. Considering the kinds of learners we have nowadays, they would easily forget if you just write down those words on the board like exposition. Now, through multimodal assessment, you're trying to integrate other modes of communication. So, as apart from asking them to recite the five elements of plot, then you also teach them basic movements that go with the concepts you are teaching. For example, isn't it that the five elements, when presented in diagram, they follow triangle? Now, applying, okay, the kinesthetic, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, then you may also teach them steps, okay, or movements, okay, for them to understand better, for retention or recall, like exposition, okay, you rising action, and then climax, then falling action, and then the end you take a bow. So that is one way of teaching English using the multimodal perspective. And of course, after teaching them, then you also require your students to demonstrate whether indeed they have understood the concepts through role play, poems, blogs, and YouTube videos. Hey, we're talking now of multimodal composition, like the video, the project of my students at LNU, and what criteria did I use to assess multimodal composition? There are five elements we look into in evaluating multimodal project. We have linguistic design, visual design, the gestural design, the auditory, spatial design, which refers to the way we use space in order to communicate meanings. So that's it. How did I evaluate that video project of my students? I used this five. I did not concentrate on the text, on the words used by the students. I also considered the visual aspect. Are the photos used in that video project? Do they complement the overall theme? Do they complement the message expressed in written mode? Okay, what about the gestures of the characters, the gestures of the um, the students who gave testimonies? Okay, and then also the auditory design, the quality of the voice of the voiceover. Okay, does it follow the stress, the expected stress, the tone, okay, of a video which intends to educate future and current students of the university, and then the spatial design, the layout. Okay. So these things, these are the five criteria we evaluate when we ask our students to produce a multimodal project. Okay. Now, okay, what are the guide questions? You can translate these guide questions into criteria and then use these guide questions when we design, as you design your rubric. Okay, so here are the guide questions. First, the first element, assessing linguistic design. Was the linguistic content comprehensible without major grammatical errors? Was the linguistic content structured in a logical and organized manner? We're still talking here of coherence, cohesion. Okay? How did the linguistic design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? What about in assessing visual design? These are some of the questions that may guide your scoring, the scoring process. Number one, did the author adopt a visual theme? Number two, did the author carefully design the use of color and typology to reflect the selected visual theme? Okay, right now, maybe you are wondering why the choice of the this kind of PowerPoint design. It's a combination of black, it's a combination of green and white. Well, it has something to do with um, one of the universities where I was schooled. Okay, it's the color. The colors here represent the one of the universities I attended. Okay, so that's it. Um, I am. I was inspired when I prepared this PowerPoint presentation. I was inspired by the ideology of the university. Okay, and so when I do presentation, I see to it that I bring with me that identity. So I choose green, black, and then white. Okay. Another question is, if chosen to use, did the author make meaningful use of available visual elements, such as graphics, to construct meaning in a cohesive manner? How did the visual design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? Okay. Now, aren't you wondering why I seldom make use of photos? Why I seldom make use of diagrams as I discussed here. Well, in my opinion, the purpose of PowerPoint presentation is to just guide me as I try to express, as I try to share my knowledge about the chosen topic. Okay, it's just, it will serve as a guide. Okay, and so in no way that I should be writing the paragraph there on the slide and then I'm just reading it. Because if I do that, then I'll just send the PowerPoint presentation to the organizing committee, and then you will be furnished. It will be sent to you individually, and then you can just read the PowerPoint slide, and that's it. So, for me, it is, I I have the opinion that the purpose of PowerPoint presentation is to guide me in my talk. Therefore, I'll just limit the content of each slide to guide questions, key terms, and then key points. But I'm not gonna write their excerpts in paragraph form from my references. Okay? Let's move on to the gestural design. Okay? Did the author make use of any animated elements or special effects to design dynamic sequencing of the content? Another question: if chosen to use, was the animation used purposefully and meaningfully? Remember that we use language for a purpose. We don't just use language just to show off our knowledge of the language. We use language because we want to achieve a specific set of functions, like what we are doing now. I'm trying my best to explain in a concise manner the concepts that I am sharing with you. And why do I have to talk this way? Because we have other, okay, participants. We have participants from other members of of other parts of the world. And so if I'm gonna speak Filipino English, and maybe that is not intelligible to other nationalities, so I try to speak English in a way that is intelligible to all nations. Okay? So that's it. And then number three, how did the gestural design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? The key here is, in multimodal approach, we always ask ourselves, how many communication modes am I gonna use? Why am I using three or four? Why am I using all these modes of communication? If that will serve the purpose why you are communicating in the first place, then the number doesn't matter. Okay, five will do. If you think the best way is to just use the written language, then that's it. Written and then coupled with a spoken language, do it. It's about achieving our communicative intent as much as possible. And we achieve our communicative intent by employing the appropriate, the logical modes of communication. Okay. Now, let's now move on to the auditory design. Did the author make use of any auditory elements such as music, sound effect, or narration? Like the situation right now, this is a webinar, and then it's academic lecture. So I can't speak like I am an entertainer, or like I'm a DJ. Like, good afternoon to everyone. You're listening to 101.7 Star FM, and this is it. We are now in the final leg. I'm not gonna speak that way because I'm not acting as a DJ, and then my target audience are not listeners of the radio, but this is a webinar attended by experts. So, and the purpose is to explain design modes for meaning construction in a cohesive manner. Cohesion here does not only apply to the written text. Cohesion also includes the whether the sound element, the music, the chosen music goes well with the message. How did the auditory design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? We now move on to the next element. It's spatial design. Okay, the layout is very important. Did the author adopt a specific layout to structure design elements? If chosen to use, did the author make use of text alignment and margins as design elements, including the choice of the choice of color, right? And how did the spatial design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? You can use these questions in a checklist form to evaluate a multimodal project, or um, you can break down, okay, each statement into indicators of varying levels of proficiency. Okay? And finally, guide questions in gestural design. Gestural. Did the author make use of any animated elements or special effects to design dynamic sequencing of the content? If chosen to use, was the animation used purposefully and meaningfully to complement or supplement the other design modes for meaning construction in a cohesive manner? How did the gestural design represented in the multimodal text enable or limit the author's communication of meaning? These are the things we look into as we evaluate the multimodal communicative competence of our students. Okay? Now, we are near the end of this presentation, and there is an anecdote to okay, one time I visited a class and I observed a class, and then a mathematics teacher said, ask his or her students to say whether classify whether the statement is true or false. Then here is the statement: rooster lay eggs. To my surprise, more than 75% of the said the answer. They answered yes. Rooster lay eggs. Okay. And at the back of my mind, the factors that led to that disheartening scenario in the class of ma'am who's teaching mathematics is vocabulary. Okay, maybe the students don't know the meaning of the word lay. Okay, or another one is they've never encountered the word rooster. So the interpretation of the students was constrained by the use of only one mode of communication. And in this particular situation, the presentation of knowledge is via written language. Okay? And I did a social experiment. I asked the mathematics teacher to use some picture in the next class and ask the same, whether it's true or false, whether rooster lay eggs or not. Okay? I am. Aside from there is error in the subject verb agreement. Okay, sorry. I really copied the statement of the teacher, okay, to make it realistic. And here is now the roosters lay eggs. In the second class, teacher Mount Venus presented the same statement: roosters lay eggs, with the accompanying picture. The entire class answered no, false. See? And what made the difference? It's the use of another mode of communication. the picture of a rooster, and from there, the idea of whether roosters lay eggs or not was activated by the use of picture, and that helped the students arrive at the right answer. Okay, okay. Another statement: it will rain because cumulonimbus are up the sky. It will rain because cumulonimbus are up the sky. The word cumulonimbus is too scientific. Maybe it's not familiar to the students. Maybe the students have already encountered rain, sky, but the word cumulonimbus, okay, is too technical. And how do you know whether it's cumulonimbus or not? And that statement definitely led confusion among the students, and half of the class didn't get the right answer. Still, the same experiment, I asked her to um, use picture and then put it, okay, side by side with this statement: it will rain because cumulonimbus are up the sky, and this is how cumulonimbus looks like. And from there, the students had the idea, of course, there is a high probability that it's gonna rain because, see, it's not about the word cumulonimbus, but they got probably the idea that it's gonna rain because of the picture. Oh. So what's the point here? The use of another mode of communication has helped the students clarify things that are so abstract, things that are confusing. Yes. So why are we teaching? Why are we teaching? What is our purpose? Every day we come to our class, and what is our purpose? Is it our purpose to confuse our students? Definitely, that's not our job. That's not part of our profession. As teachers, we exist in order to make things, make complex things easy to understand. The essence of being a teacher is to simplify already complicated concepts, complicated body of knowledge. And how do we simplify our teaching? We simplify it by maximizing the use of different modes of communication, not just written, not just spoken language, but we try to help our students understand vague concepts with the use of multimodal pedagogical materials like video, like infographics. Okay? And that's the challenge to all of us now. How willing are we to simplify the life of our students, to simplify the learning process of our students, such that they will start, okay, to love again, to they will love investing time and again in their education. Here is an approach called multimodal approach, which highlights the role of different semiotic resources in helping our students understand complex ideas, in helping them, in bringing them from their comfort zone to their zone of proximal development. If I may borrow, okay, Vygotsky's theory of sociocultural learning, it's not our job to put hard life on our students and even to confuse them. Our main calling is to simplify the concepts, to help our students understand abstract concepts by maximizing the use of the different modes of communication beyond speech, beyond writing. It's about time that we also use visuals, we also use gestures, we also use spatial resources, semiotic resources, in order for our students to increase their understanding, for them to improve their ability to discern the meanings of the things around them. And I'm so thankful that even up to this time, you try to use the modes of communication at your disposal to understand what I'm trying to discuss. And I'm also thankful that with the help of technology, I have tried my best to deliver the topic, which is multimodality in English language teaching, in a way that uses the different modes of communication, not just text, but videos to illustrate the tenets of multimodal approach. With that, a big thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much, Sir Melchor Kayabyab, for that invaluable service that you have rendered to us as our resource speaker for today's session. We are so grateful for all the knowledge that you have shared to us. And they were very enlightening. You further deepen our understanding about different modalities and pedagogies to be used in teaching English language. And I would like to read a comment from one of our audience here, from Alip Aliyah Naur. Multimodal communicative competence of the student surely entails a wide range of qualities that we could observe. Truly agree with you, sir. Okay, another comment that I would like to read is this. Before asking question, this is from Mary Ann Manglanlan. Before asking question to the learners, assure that they assure that they understand the word used in questioning, and using different modalities can help students to comprehend the lessons. We have so many comments from the audience. Thank you so much, sir. We will see you again in the Q&A part of the program. So meanwhile, we will hold you at the backstage to give way for the live quiz competition. Okay?
Thank you. My pleasure, Maribeth.
Okay, thank you, sir. Again, later I will give you the e-certificate link. We will give you the e-certificate link in the comment box, and if you encounter any problem collecting your e-certificate, go directly to our website, that is www.eduigp.com. Then after collecting your e-certificate, don't forget to celebrate with IGP. Let's celebrate together by your check-in. And for those who could not collect the certificate right away, try to refresh your browser or collect it some other time. And this time, buckle up, because at this juncture, we will now truly proceed to the most exciting and anticipated part of our program, that is the live quiz competition. I would like to encourage everyone to join the live quiz competition at slido.com. Using your browser, go to slido.com and enter the code IGP12. Our code for today is IGP12. Go to www.slido.com and enter the code IGP12. Okay, come on, guys. This will be fun. Please join our live quiz competition. And we have here a reminder from Sir Alan Butas. Please join with your full name, since it will be directly put on your certificate that will be posted on IGP's FB page. And remember that the top 10 will be awarded with quiz completion certificate. Thank you, Sir Alan Butas. Okay. Question number 1. What is multimodality? Speaking more than one language or combining the different ways of communicating? "84% answered combining different ways of communicating," and that is the correct answer. On the leaderboard, January Cindy is leading, followed by Ryan Lepasana. Let's proceed to question number 2. Question number 2. The practice of teaching immigrant students in their own language while they also learn English, is it pessimism or bilingualism? Pessimism or bilingualism? Feminism or bilingualism, and 100% answered bilingualism. Let's see it is correct. Okay. On the leaderboard, January Cindy is still leading, followed by Flumi Salvijo. Let's proceed to the next question. Okay, the pragmatic function of language has to with phonics or social and cultural use. It's 50-50. The correct answer is social or cultural use. So it's still January Cindy is leading the leaderboard, and then followed by Ryan Pakilbo this time. Question number 4. A student cannot be considered fluent in English language if they use Spanglish. Is it true or false? "56% of the participants answered false," and that is the correct answer. Still January Cindy leading the leaderboard, followed by Alan Brutas. Question number 5. Speaking requires just a general topic, and the students will take over the conversation or careful planning beforehand. It is careful planning beforehand. 78% of the participants answered correctly. Let's see who's leading this time. It's now Alan Butas leading our leaderboard, followed by Joyce Ann Barzaga. Next question is, English language learners have about the same amount of work to accomplish as mainstream students. Is it true or false? The correct answer is false. Only 26% of the participants were able to get the correct answer. Well, not so bad. This time we have Gerald Alfarero leading our leaderboard, and then followed by Joel Bernasar. Question number 7. Which reading skill is often absent in English language learners and should be a focus of reading instruction? Letter knowledge or reading comprehension? "88% of the participants were able to get the correct answer, and that is reading comprehension. On the leaderboard, we have Gerald Alfarero, then Budhiman Mongar is followed. Then let's have question number 8. Students learn English by translating it and from their native language. They memorize irregular verbs forms by writing. The communicative approach or grammar translation approach. It's grammar translation method. So 53% of the participants were able to get the correct answer. And on the leaderboard, Budhi Mongar is leading this time, followed by Alan Brutas. Question number 9. Explicit vocabulary instruction can help English language learners build up reading comprehension skills. Is it true or false? %92% of the participants answered true, and that is correct. So Mongar is still leading. This time we have January Cindy on the second place. And for our last and final question, we have to get the students talking and thinking in English. Is it engage or study? %96% answered engaged, and that is the correct answer. Congratulations to our top 10 quiz competition winners for this session. We have Budhiman Monkar, followed by January Cindy. Next is Alan Butas. Next is Joyce Ann Barzaga. And then Jane Grace Kizal. May I see the 6th place now? 6th place is, that's a little small, Gerald. And then 7th place is Ella May. 8th place is Bernazor. And then 9th place is that PG. And then 10th place is Leia Facunla. Congratulations to our top 10 winners for this quiz competition. You will be receiving your quiz completion certificate after the few minutes after our live show. Then, again, let me remind you, don't forget to like and subscribe our Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. This time, we will indulge ourselves into a meaningful discussion with our lively and energetic speaker. You may start sending your questions in the comments section. Meanwhile, let's enjoy watching this short video. Again, congratulations to our top 10 winners. Okay, let me see. So, let me just, okay, we don't have the speaker right now, so we will proceed right away to our certification process. And our code is IGP 0948. Remember, our code for today is IGP 0948. Without a code, no one is eligible for a certificate, and with code, you can claim your certificate anytime. Without an account on our website, you can visit, but you cannot do anything functional. Remember, our code for today is IGP 3840. Okay, at IGP 0948. Today, our code is IGP 0948. Please take a screenshot of that. You may take a screenshot of that. Okay. So thank you so much for our speaker. I hope he is still around. Well, that completes our session, this program for this session. I hope you have learned something new today that will be useful in your life. To my fellow knowledge seekers, I would like to thank all of you for attending today's session. Let me thank all of you for being so patient and active all throughout the webinar. Hopefully, you have learned something new today that will be useful in your life. And the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. That is from BB King. We will proceed to the certification process. Again, let me tell you, to collect your e-certificate, please go to www.eduigp.com. Again, that is www.eduigp.com. Make sure to log in using your account. Then, if you are new, create an account. Then click 3 webinars and choose today's webinar date and title. Click the bar Enroll Now. After getting enrolled, enter the code and then click Get Your Certificate. Your e-certificate will be auto-downloaded to your device. Okay, another thing, I would like to invite everyone to join our FB page and FB group and also subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have learned something new or we have been helpful to you even in just a little bit, please leave a review on our page. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe our Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. Well, that concludes our program for today. To all the IGP Free International Webinar participants, thank you so much for your support. To the team IGP, job well done for you. This is another successful live session. This has been a worthwhile event for all of us and a rewarding experience. We hope to see you all again in our upcoming webinars. I think we do not have webinar in the evening session today. We do not have any scheduled program for the evening session. Remember, all things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to His purpose. Again, this has been your host, Maribeth, from the Philippines, signing off. Thank you and stay safe. Stay happy. To God be the glory.